Well, as luck would have it, I didn't make it, but there is a tortoise. I don't know if you saw him just go through the hole there. This is a gopher tortoise. And whoop, whoa, look at him go. He bolted. He moves fast when he wants to. There's actually a sign here that says gopher tortoise area. And he was actually, I came up and he was crawling across that field towards this hole there and went in. I guess there's another hole over there. As you can see, I'm over at a park here. I think it's called Good Park. Goode, I'm not sure. But, well, the best laid plans of mice and men. I had intended to head back from, I picked up my bucket from my ex-girlfriend's place. See the bucket there? And was getting ready to head back to Camp Freedom 2 while I was, cooking breakfast here. I was going to have some sausage, eggs, and rice. And as you can see, I've already cooked the rice. And I was in process of cooking the sausages, and my power system shut down. So I checked under the hood, checked the fuse, and the fuse is still intact, which means there's something defective with the wiring, either from the switch, or from the when I'm saying switch, I'm talking about there's a positive line that runs from the engine, from the vehicle battery to my switch under the seat, and then from there it goes to the battery here, the house battery, and then there's also a negative that goes to ground to the vehicle. So there's something defective along one of those wires, because right now I'm getting no power at all from the house wiring. So that means a change in plans. I'm currently over at, I think, Good Park right here, and decided to come by here because there's I know there's a working 120 volt outlet, and I'm just going to go ahead and cook up my sausages and eggs over there, and then have breakfast, and then probably I may just stay here and try to work on my house wiring system and decide where I want to go. If I want to go back to the camp, the zombie camp, or not the zombie camp, but Camp Freedom 2, to finish up the outhouse, or if I just want to head to the beach and say screw it and just enjoy my birthday, because this is not how I intended to spend my birthday, working on the vehicle. But it looks like it's going to have to happen because I need to have house power or I'm screwed. Alrighty, as you can see, I've got my power system all ripped apart. This is not how I want to spend my birthday, but the reality is, without house power, I'm screwed. So everything else stops until I can figure out the situation. I was cooking while driving this morning, and had cooked up some rice, and was in process of cooking up my sausages to have with the rice. And then suddenly the power system shut down for the house battery system, the inverter here, so it won't come on. The switch is off right now, which is why it won't come on, but more than that, even when the switch is on, it won't come on. So somehow I have a short. See, I got the switch on now, and you'll see that it still doesn't come on. Ow. Shit, just hit my head on the back thing there. Ow. Anyhow, I've got it switched on now, and it doesn't want to come on. So there's a break in the line somewhere, either on my ground or on my live line from the engine, from the house battery. I mean the vehicle battery here. Now, I'd already checked the fuse and even replaced the fuse, and it looks like the fuse is intact. So wherever the break is, it's somewhere else. So I'm in process of diagnosing that right now. So I'll let you know what I find out. Okay, so the fact that the fuse hadn't blown makes me suspect that somewhere along the line, one of these lines is loose or something. So I'm going to take apart the switch and the positive line there to figure out if I'm getting any electricity going through it. So either somewhere along there something is not working, or my switch is dead. So that's always a possibility too. So we're gonna look at that by taking it apart. Okay, just thought I'd point out a little safety tip. As you can see, I pulled the fuse. It looks to be intact. It looks like it's not broken. There's no break in the circuit here in the fuse. But I pulled it from our little holder here to disconnect the system. Because that line right there runs to our live red line, our positive, that runs into the house battery. By removing the fuse, we've disconnected that line so it's no longer live. And the reason I'm doing that is you don't want to work on a live line, because you could end up, one, you could blow the fuse, but two, you could end up electrocuting yourself. So I've disconnected the power line while I'm working on it to figure out what's going on with the plugs. I mean, not so much what's going on with the plug, but what's going on with the cable, to see why it's not finishing the connection, why I'm not getting any power. So I've disconnected right now, and I'm going to disassemble the switch and take a look at that, and trace the line and try to figure out what's going on here. Okay, as you can see, I've got the screws and stuff, the bolts and whatnot that hold the switch together off. And what I'm going to do is just push the switch back out and take a look at the connections there and see if anything's broken. And I'm going to test this line right here. This line right here is the line that goes up to the house battery, and it is our positive. So I want to see if that line is continuous, if that line is allowing electricity to flow through, or if there's a short in the line somewhere. So that's what we're going to be doing right now. Alright, as you can see, I've disassembled our inverter system, our house inverter. And what I'm going to do is just test this out by hooking it up to our vehicle battery to make sure that our inverter is even working correctly. So, red goes to red, that's our positive, and our negative is going here to the black. Okay, I've got it plugged in now to the vehicle battery, and I'm going to try to turn it on. And it's coming on. And it's reading, let's see what it's reading here. 12.8. So it's reading full on our vehicle battery. So we know that our battery, our vehicle battery is good. And our inverter is good. So now that means the problem's somewhere along with our wiring. So we're going to test that next. Okay, I've taken our red line here, our positive that comes from the vehicle battery, and hooked it up to my inverter right here. And the negative is just this thing that we need to plug. We're going to clip this to the metal frame of the car somewhere, the van, and that should complete the circuit. But actually it won't complete the circuit because our live line here is currently off. It's got a switch, which I think is off. I'm going to double check and make sure it's off. And also our fuse needs to be plugged back in. So I'm going to go make sure my switch is off, plug the fuse in, and check the system out. Alright, I've plugged the fuse back in. So the 30 amp fuse right here is now plugged into the system, making this a complete circuit right here. But the system should still be off because the switch is off. Now the way I check to make sure that this is off, see, off is up and down is on for this one. I put this thing back on which has the word on off, so I can see which switch position is on and off. So right now it's on off, so it should be off. Okay, what we're going to try to do now is complete the circuit by hooking up the, see, I have the negative right there of the inverter. I'm going to try to hook it up to a piece of metal here on the car. Alright, you can see that I've clipped it to the metal shell of the car, which is attached to the frame, which means we should have a complete circuit right now. And to complete the circuit, we're going to turn the switch on. Okay, and of course nothing's on yet because we got to turn the unit on. And the unit's not coming on. So the fact that this unit is not coming on means that I do not have a complete circuit. And that is why the power cut off. So either my wiring here is bad or my switch is bad. So either this part here that connects to the battery is bad, or the switch there is bad. So I'm going to try to test the wiring and see if the wiring's bad before I test the switch. Well, my phone's running out of power, and it was shutting off because it ran out of energy. But you can see that I currently have it tethered to the inverter. And in order to charge the phone through this inverter plug, that means the inverter has to have power. So, as you can see, I have hooked up the inverter to the direct line right there. See how that red clip there? That is to the inverter, to the direct line that goes up to our vehicle battery. And I've hooked up our negative ground up to this the metal frame here by clipping it over here from the inverter. So I have a complete circuit, and it means that our line, at least up to the vehicle, is good. You know, so the fuse and everything else there and all that wiring we did previously is still good. Where the problem occurs is either at the switch right here or at this line that runs up to the battery itself. So I'm going to be testing that in a moment, but for now, know that I am getting power. See how it's coming on right now? And it says 12.7. That's how much power I have left in the vehicle battery. I'm draining some power right now. So that's good news, because that means either my switch is bad or this cable here is bad. So that's what we're looking at this point. Well, I tried hooking up the positive line here to the other side of the switch with the switch turned on, and there's no power. So that tells me my switch is now defective. So somehow my switch has burnt out, and that's why the power stopped flowing. So at this point, I need to replace the switch or bypass the switch completely.